Hey guys, it's Stephanie, and today I'm going to show you how to make a raw juice in a blender. A lot of people ask me if they could only pick one kitchen machine to buy. Should it be a juicer or should it be a blender? And I say blender all the time. I have a Vitamix 5200, and there's also another good one, the Blendtec, a lot of people like. And then even I've heard people have good success with the Magic Bullet. So yeah, any real high-speed blender, that's the way to go, because with a juicer, you can pretty much only juice. With a blender, you can blend and you can juice. Now I'm not talking about smoothies, I'm talking about actual juice. And the key to that is this little guy. This is a fine mesh paint straining bag from your local paint store. It's about 75 cents. I get these ones with an elastic top because I can put it right here into my 1 quart Pyrex measuring cup like this, and the elastic just sits all around the side like that, holds it in place. And then once your fruit is blended up, or your greens, or whatever it is that you want to juice, you just pour it in there, pull up the mesh bag, and then squeeze out the juice. I first learned this because I used to make, and still do, make my own milks out of nuts, like almond milk. And at the local health food store, they sold something called a nut milk bag. And it was a bag just like this to make nut milks. You know, it keeps the pulp out of the final product. The only problem with that is that it was like $8 for a little mesh bag. And then a friend of mine told me that they have the same mesh bags used for straining paint at the paint shop or hardware store. So I checked it out. It was only 75 cents. They're really great. You can throw them in the dishwasher. They're really easy to rinse out. And it's definitely a tool to have along with your blender. So now, if you're deciding which one to get, I would say go blender. So let's get going here. So I am going to be making a cucumber, apple, and parsley juice today. Now I know a lot of people think that doing a smoothie is much better because it actually, you just blend up the fruit and veggies and it keeps all the fiber in it, and I totally get that, and that's actually what I do most of the time. But there is a time and a place for juice, so if you ever need to do a juice, this is how you can do it. Let's see, I always start with the most juicy of the product so that you know, I can get going easier into the Vitamix. So let's just put these cukes in there. There we go. Throw on the lid. Okay. Next we're going to put in the apples. Now apples, you may have heard the seed contains small amounts of cyanide, and that is true. So you don't want to juice the seeds. Now of course eating a couple seeds is not going to kill you, but juicing the seeds also won't kill you, but it does increase the amount of cyanide that's digested, so let's stay away from that. And finally the parsley. And I love putting parsley in smoothies and juices because it gives it a really fresh taste and gets you some greens. Okay, so we've got everything blended up, pretty liquefied here. And for this next part, you want to make sure that your hands are super clean because you're about to touch the juice that you're going to ingest. Some people like to use one of those gloves, like for food prep, and you can do that if it kind of freaks you out to be having the juice all over your hands. So we've got the straining bag here, and then just pour the mixture in there. Since you're using your hands anyway, I usually just get all of the bits out of the blender. Okay, so then you just pull up the sides of the bag. Make sure you close it off at the top so that it doesn't leak out the top, and you can already see the juice starting to come out like this, and you just gently squeeze the bag to get the juice out. And this might take a couple minutes depending on how much pulp is in there. But one thing is it's better to squeeze it slower, because if you squeeze too hard it'll put pressure on the seams of the bag, and sometimes it'll actually start seeping through the seams of the bag. So you don't want that if you're trying just to get all juice. So we're going to do this for a couple minutes and see how much juice we get from all that. Okay, so that's about good. It's really pulpy left there. Now, I don't know, some people use their pulp for other things, and I don't usually do that unless I'm making like an almond milk. But if you have a compost, use a compost. Put it in the compost. You can just flip the bag inside out, and it all comes out. Give it a good rinse. I'm not going to do that right now. And then you can throw it in the dishwasher if you want. So usually there's a little bit of foam on top of the juice, which I don't care for, so I'll just scoop it out. Alright, good enough. And then let's see, so I put in 1 large cucumber, 2 apples, and a bunch of parsley, and I got 2 cups of juice. Green juice. Alright, so that's how you make a fresh, raw, organic juice without a juicer. Cheers! That's really good. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.